Welcome to another episode, Change Tomorrow Today. It's always a treat when the gentlemen's meet.
Charge.
This is part 2, Generation X. I'm your host, Al.
Man, y'all already know my name, baby. I'm Ralph, man. I got my player partner K here with me, man. And what we're going to do is we're going to give y'all part 2. We're going to give y'all some game, help you elevate, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take y'all into the AI discussion, right, Al? We're going to go into the AI discussion. Mm-hmm. So I know you got some questions for K, man. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, K, you being in IT, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what do you think about this new AI movement, artificial intelligence?
Scary, man. It's scary, you know what I'm saying? Because we're feeding this thing information and it actually learns from us, right? And the crazy part to me is nobody can tell you where that information actually goes or where it's stored. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So just to give you an example, right? Some engineers have been caught using AI for in government jobs, right? And the bad part about that is some of the stuff is like top secret information, right? So they're entering this stuff into AI, right? And it's, spitting out information or doing their job for them, coding, different things of that nature, right? But they don't know where that information went to. And if that's top secret government information or project that you're working on for the government, right? Whose hands is it in now?
They don't know. They don't care.
They don't know.
They're getting that
right?
check, yeah.
Yeah. It's a quick story. It's one cat. It's one guy. He was actually having somebody overseas do his work for him. So he had like 2 jobs, right? So this is how he was running game. He had 2 jobs, right? And it was dealing with coding, and I forget something else. But he basically was hiring somebody, say overseas, you know what I'm saying, in a foreign country.
In India, they famous for coding.
Could be India, could be China, could be anywhere, right?
Yeah.
He's hiring them. Say for example, he's making $85 an hour, right? He's paying them probably like 20. You see what I'm saying? So he just basically gets the information, feeds it to them, and basically turns into work or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But now people are doing that with AI. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing. Yeah.
Man, that is scary. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Being that you're Generation X, right?
Right.
Let me ask you this. What about the folks that comes from your era that may be stubborn with learning new information? Because my thing is, I think everyone needs to be computer savvy in order to keep up with the times.
I agree. I think everybody at least needs to know the basics. You know what I mean? You need to know how to bank online. You need to know how to trade online. I mean, I think you need to, you even need to know how to order groceries or something online, right? Because what if you become sick and you don't have any family who can really help you? Right. You need to get it delivered. So I think just the basic computer skills, I think everybody needs them to be able to survive properly in today's world.
Right. Gotcha.
Man, K, let me tell you something, man. The more I sit with you, man, we talk about your generation, man, the more intrigued I am, man.
Yeah.
No, the more intrigued I am because you guys are cut differently, man. And I feel like we're cut from that same cloth too. But some way, somehow, man, that cloth that we getting cut from, there's a cutoff right now. It just stopped.
Right.
And the thing that always bothers me, man, is like, cause I have children. I love my kids, man. And the thing that bothers me, I think I'm doing a great job with my children. I'm trying to balance everything out properly. But the thing that bothers me is when my children have to interact with other people's kids, and their parents is not doing the same work that I'm putting in, right, to raise my kid properly.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, or to give them that same mind state that I had growing up. And I understand things are more soft today. It's a lot more soft, right? Everything is a lot more caring, and everything is a lot more emotional. Everything online is about mental health.
Right.
And I'm not taking anything from mental health. I think it's real because I think people really do go through mental health.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people use it as a scapegoat as well.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I think like as soon as there's an obstacle in the way, it's something that's too big for a certain person to deal with, to handle, they scream mental health.
Versus being accountable.
Yeah. Or anxiety. I can't deal with, it's too much for me. I got mentally, man. Because like I say, in my time, man, and I know in your time, there was no such thing as anxiety. You see what I'm saying? Even right now, as grown men, right? And we're the head of our households. We don't have time to feel those things, anxiety. I don't have time to feel mental weakness.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I'm watching these kids today in this day and age, they have everything pretty much laid out for them. And if they would just take what the good parents are trying to give them and just follow through with it, they could accomplish so much. And I'm watching them, they decide to go the other route.
Yeah.
Or they screaming, whatever they screaming at the time for whatever issue it is. Oh, I'm a victim. I think that to me says a lot about where we started, where we come from, starting from you to us, and what's happening today. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a cutoff. It's a cutoff, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
That's what's bothering me, really. So I guess my question to you is, man, when you sit back and you watching everything that's taking place with these kids today, with the mental health, with the anxiety and everything, how do you think that can be resolved, bro?
Man, oh, wow. Honestly, man, I don't know.
Because I'm sure you grew up taking a lot of butt whippings, right? In the house? I mean, I'm sure.
Did I ever?
Man, I took some nasty ones, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to get slapped up in class, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a teacher named Miss Torres, 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? I went home. I remember we had a test coming up, man. I go home, man. I said, well, I'm about to get an A in this. I'm studying. I'm like, well, I'm going to kill this. So I'm sitting next to this girl. Her name was Vanessa. I never, because that really hurt my heart, man.
Right.
So I'm sitting there. She said a word. I write it down. I'm like, man, I look at she's. I'm like, oh, man, you tripping. This is easy. She says, I'm cheating. I got an F. I'm talking about, I study, man. So she called my mom in. My mom ain't speak English at the time. So she come in. I got to be the one that's telling
Translating.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I say, man, mommy, she said, I'm a great student.
And she actually believed it.
Man, she was believing it all. But my little sister came with her, though. Oh man,
wow.
look here. And she started tugging my mom. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm kicking her. What's wrong with you tugging her for?
Right.
She's like, that's not what she said. I'm like, she told my mom, he said he's not listening.
So what happened?
Man, she slapped me in front of the whole class. Man, the
Right.
whole blam! Because she was frustrated because she didn't understand what was being said and I was lying to her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So she slapped me in front of the whole class.
And it's crazy you said that, right, bro? Back like in today's time, if your mom would have did that, trust me, somebody would have called the police on your mother.
Probably.
She would have been behind bars.
Absolutely.
But
I'm
see,
telling you.
you do that to a kid today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they might hurt themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They might
agree.
scream. Yeah.
I agree.
They might, because they're embarrassment.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I had to like take it. If somebody was making, man, your mom slapped you, she did. But I didn't have time to be, get into my feelings. I feel. It is what it is, man. She did it. I got a whooping for it. I got slapped for it in front of y'all because I was lying.
Yeah.
I earned it. And I just kept pumping. You know what I mean? Kept pushing.
Because remember, we come from the era where our parents used to tell us, go get the switch from the tree and bring it
I'm
back.
sure you've dealt with that, right?
I know you dealt with that.
I know you dealt with that.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So how do we bring that back? I know it's you can't really discipline your kids. How do we bring that back, brother, to that time and place where respect was the thing and it was the main thing?
Honestly, man, I mean, in my humble opinion, I think we basically need to go back to God, bro.
I agree with that.
Oh man,
I agree with that.
I agree with you 100% on that,
I think
bro.
so many of us are so far removed from spirituality, religion. I think that's the bigger problem. Once we stop saying the Lord's Prayer in school, you can't pray and things of that nature, I think that's when it all started.
Hey, I agree,
think that's when it all
100%.
started. Yeah.
Because whenever something bad happens, right, they always want to scream the Lord's name,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But you want to remove the Lord's Prayer from school, but let something happen. Oh, let's pray to God. Let's
pray to God.
Yeah, I don't
so
get
it's
that.
always when the bad thing
When the
occurs.
bad thing
That's when we
occurs.
bring God into the
Yeah.
equation, but not the good when everything
right,
is good.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
What's
agree.
what is that term? Like something like faith without work is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that. You know that word perfectly, brother.
And I agree with you, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I
So, yeah.
agree with you
Oh, yeah,
1,000%.
Absolutely. I think that, along with holding your kids accountable, you know what I mean? Being able to discipline them. And I'm not meaning like you have to spank them every time. Because, I don't believe you have to spank a kid every time they get out of line or something of that nature. But it needs to be some type of consequence, right? Like, what's your favorite place you like to go? What's the favorite things you like to do? You know what I'm saying? Do you enjoy, hanging out with your friends on this day? Things of that nature. You have to take those things away. You know what I mean? You have to make them understand that you're going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And another thing too, man, is who your children are around, like their friends. You know, if your child is a weak-minded child, bruh,
they'll fall for anything.
Anything, man. I used to tell my kids all the time, association brings about assimilation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're around a crazy person long enough, right, in a company long enough, you'll start to simulate to their ways. You'll start acting like that.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
So, you know, before I would take my kids and say we get ready to go over somebody else's house, like you said, that's not putting the work in with their children, I would always say, hey, look, we're going over to Miss So-and-so house, right? Now, you're going to hear and see some things that aren't right. But if you choose to act that way, you know it's going to be some consequences. I would always give that speech.
Yeah, right? Beforehand. So they already know.
Beforehand, they already know. They already know. Yeah. You know what I mean? They already know. So, yeah, you basically, man, we have to save our kids, man.
Yeah.
Look, the government's not going to do it, right?
No, they doing something. They're doing the opposite of saving them.
Exactly, but the government's not going to do it. The teachers aren't going to do it. As a parent, man, we have to put in the work, man, to save our kids, man. We have to save our kids, man, because, I mean, social media has them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world has them. The devil has them, man. We got to save our kids, man. And my whole thing is this. You can never put in too much time and too much work with your kids.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't, man. And, you know, as a father, man, I think one of the things I always tell myself when I look in the mirror, I feel guilty about is I feel like my daughter, I feel like I spoiled her. I spoiled her in the sense where she's very sensitive.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? But I thought I was doing a good thing. I was keeping her
sheltered?
Not sheltered, but you know, the whole time I was raising her, and she's sensitive, and I saw it. I thought it was a good thing, and
catered to it.
I catered to it, and I tried to not allow her to lose that sensitivity, because that's part of being a woman. As you get older, become a woman, you have to have that side of you, right? I didn't want her to be, you know what I mean?
Tough.
I don't have no emotions and stuff like that, right? But the more I'm starting to realize, I don't think I balanced it properly.
Oh, okay.
You know, because she's so soft and so sensitive. But she puts on the front like she's strong, you know, and she's very strong. My princess is very strong. But I know I could have done better balancing that emotion for her, you know. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, I didn't do a good job on that.
Bro, maybe that's her makeup, because I mean, my oldest daughter, she's very emotional, and she gets that from her mother, right? Because my youngest daughter, she's not like that.
So they're different.
They're different.
Yeah, my son, man, he's you know, he's very loving, man. All day, I love you, Dad. I love you, big boy. But at the same time, he's one of those where he's not gonna let nothing go. So if my daughter pushes him, he tells her, "I'm gonna get you back." No, he tell her, "I'm gonna get you back." He gonna let her walk around. She forget. She gonna walk by. He gonna jump on her, push her. He gonna be like, "Payback." You know what I'm saying? So
like James Brown.
he got that dog in him, you know. Whereas her, she's more, you know. I'm like, man, I should have saw that. I should have played it better. I should have, you know, balanced it better. But you know, you can't be perfect, you know. As parents, we gonna always
maybe it's
fall
her
short.
makeup too, bro.
Probably is.
Yeah,
might could
maybe
be.
that's her makeup.
More than likely it is.
Yeah.
More than likely it just is, you know. But the kids today, like you said, we got to save them because they're too soft, man. Everything is just too watered down.
Right, like you mentioned the teachers, man, because coming up in my day, in your day too, I think the teachers were more caring. Not saying that the educators of today are not caring, but man, when I remember when I was in elementary school in my 5th grade class, I had a teacher. He did not play that. That was like a CSI program. That was for at-risk kids. And he used to spank the kids.
What?
At school, yeah. He was allowed to do it. Yeah, he was allowed to do it. They matter of fact, they banned it when Caucasian kids started integrating in the urban schools. When Caucasian kids started integrating in the urban schools, then they pulled it.
Oh,
right.
wow.
And I was in that class.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Because I was considered at risk. Yeah, I was considered at risk.
That,
and he was very caring, man. He was very caring. He made sure we know our timetables. We did our homework. I remember the first day of school, my mother marched me to school, right? Marched me to class. And I told my mother, because, you know, remember back in the days, they used to mail the card.
Yeah.
Right.
Where your room.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it and I saw his name, I was like, damn, I got this. I got this class. So I told my mom, hey, Mom, can you please tell this teacher not to spank me. Right? So my mother goes, she walked me to class, right? She's like, with her Haitian accent,
Yeah.
she's like, you my brother, I'm your sister. He bad, you beat him.
She did the opposite.
Yeah, he did the opposite.
Yeah.
He sure did it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But guess what? I learned a lot. He made sure when we graduated from 5th grade, we know our timetables. We knew how to add. We knew how to subtract. We knew how to write in cursive. You know what I'm saying? He was like a father figure
Yeah,
to us.
yes.
He was very caring. And I'm telling you, when we used to go to school, right, before we enter the classroom, the first thing he said, where's my homework? And if you didn't have that homework, you had to go back home and get that homework.
Wow.
That sounds like something you might have grew up in, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
man.
very caring.
Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get beat in school, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that one class. I'm talking about like the principal, vice principal. I mean, I think I've had like 3 paddlings in school.
Only 3?
Yeah, only 3, bro.
Oh man, so you learned your lesson quick, fast, in a hurry, or you was just good at hiding the bad you was doing?
That too. That too. You know, my whole thing is this. You know, you could bring a bad grade home, but you better not bring a U in conduct home, right? Like, so my parents would beat you quicker for your behavior than your grades,
Yeah.
right? Because to them that was their name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're basically, if you're misbehaving in school, to them you're telling the world that you're not being raised properly.
Yeah.
Your parents aren't raising you properly, right? So that's how it was with me growing up. Yeah.
From the 80s, the 80s when you started, you know, being in your teens, right?
Yeah.
80s, 90s, and then the 2000s, right? 2000, 2010s.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you watching all these different things unfold, right?
Yeah.
Is there any time where you say, man, I'm glad, man, I had my time I grew up in the time I did, and not this year generation that's going on right now?
Every day. You know what I mean? Every day, man. Like going to school, having to worry about mass shootings.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a lot, right? It takes
Man,
a lot. It
that's-
takes a toll on you.
Yeah, it takes a toll. It takes a toll on you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very thankful
Yeah.
that I grew up when I did.
Because the only thing we worried about was fire drill.
Fire drills. Because
That
it
was
seems
it.
like
And-
it's happening even more. I remember the first mass shooting that I ever saw on the news was the Columbine.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the first
that
one.
was the first
That was
one.
what,
Yeah.
90s? What, that was in
No,
the
I
90s?
think that was 99.
Yes, the 90s.
99
Yes.
or, yeah, it was early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the one I can recall that ever happened.
yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just thankful that kind of thing wasn't thought about. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back then, you know what I mean?
So you, I know you're a father, right?
yes, sir.
And you also a grandfather.
Yes, sir.
So when your grandbabies come to you, right?
Yeah.
Do you discipline them?
Not the same way I did my kids. You know what I'm saying? But I do. You know what
But
I'm saying?
why is that though? Why is that?
I guess because I think as you age a little bit, you know what I'm
You
saying?
become softer?
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, you become a little bit softer, and I think that you become wiser, and I think that you understand that every situation doesn't require physical force,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
sometimes if you talk to a child, right, I think that sometimes you can get through.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as long as you are giving them the correct blueprint early on, you know, early on in life, you know, I think that talking to some kids sometimes you can get through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be my grandkids.
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
got- if
Yeah.
they did something.
Yeah. Of course. Of
Yeah, of
course.
course, I'll spank them, but
So-
I mean, you know,
So when your kids watch you interact with your grandbabies, right, and they might do something that they remember, when I did that, you
Yeah.
ain't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that jealousy, man?
just laugh it off.
You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong.
Just laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? Just
You
laugh
know
it off.
you're wrong,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just laugh that thing off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
But I want to touch on this though.
Yeah.
Okay. You know the saying, it takes a village
To raise a child.
to raise a child,
Yeah.
right?
yes.
What do you think about the lack of in today's day, right? Because back in the days, we knew our neighbors. We interacted with the neighbors. If you got out of line, the neighbor can spank you. And I think that's one of the things that are missing today. What do you think about that?
I agree with you 110%. You know, the thing that bothered me is this, right? Like, that's how I grew up, right? You do something up the street, by the time you get to your grandparents' house or home, they already know about it, right?
Right.
And then they're going to get you again. You know, first of all,
The neighbor gonna
neighbor's
get you,
gonna
they'll
say-
get
the
you,
neighbor's
yeah.
gonna get you, say
Yeah.
something to you. Then you get home, you'll get even worse, right? But now, man, if a kid is like throwing rocks at your window and you go and you say something to that child, that child go home and hey, Mr. Ralph down the street told me to stop throwing rocks, and he was being mean to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fight. You might get shot now, bro.
Mm.
You say something wrong to somebody's kid. You try to tell somebody else's child the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could become a victim of violence.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, that's crazy.
Let me ask you. You see, I'm glad you said that. But you don't find it oddly strange that that scenario only applies to us? When I say us, I mean us, right?
Right.
It's almost like we can't speak with each other anymore. We can't correct one another.
Yeah,
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? There used to be a point in time where a brother can tell you, man, you wrong, man, you doing this wrong, man. You can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't do this like that. You know, this the right way. Nowadays, if you try to correct another one of us, it's an issue, like you said. You might get shot.
Absolutely.
And to me, I feel like, you know, it's I don't know if it's a lack of understanding on some of our parts, but in order for things to change for us as a whole, we have to let a lot of that ego go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We have to be able to let another person correct us when we're wrong, especially if that person, you know, has no ill will in his heart towards you. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's coming from a loving place.
Yeah.
You have to be open to suggestions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. But people don't want to hear your suggestions. They don't want to hear your advice. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People just want to live in the moment. They want to do what they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the moment, we all
Yeah.
got to live in the world. It's not just
Yeah.
a moment. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
We have
I
to
agree.
live in it. And
I agree.
unfortunately, we have children. You have grandchildren. I'm
Yeah.
going to have grandchildren.
Right.
And they have to keep living in this
Yeah.
world that we're creating.
Mhm.
And it's a cycle that's non-ending, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even walk up to a brother and say, good morning, man. How's it going today, brother?
Yeah.
He going to look at you like,
Main muggy.
what you
Yeah,
mad
like-
about, man?
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
Who you mad at already?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, you know, the first time I ever went to North Carolina, bro, I was taken back. Everybody was just so nice and cordial. It's not like down here, man.
Yeah.
Everybody just mean to
Yeah,
you.
Miami.
And people were so sweet. I'm about to tell you, I said, man,
Yeah.
you said, welcome to the South, bro. This is what it is. Welcome to North Carolina, brother. I said, man, I love it here, man. It was almost like I was in Haiti, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was born in Haiti, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I have memories of being in. People were so nice to each other. It was a community.
They're peaceful.
It was community, man.
Yeah.
You was trying to make sugar water. You ain't had no sugar. You might have had the water. You come to you go to your neighbor. You got sugar? Oh yeah. I got sugar. Here, come get it. Oh, you ain't got no lemon. Oh, hey, man, you got some citron. You got lemon. Come get it.
Yeah, come get it.
Everybody is one.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like North Carolina. Y'all so loving
Bro.
and welcoming, man.
Let me say this. Not everybody, bro.
No. Of course,
Not
you got your
everybody.
bad apples. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a whole bunch of bad apples.
Now,
Yeah.
Now.
It's a whole bunch of bad apples.
back then it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, it's a couple of cities in North Carolina, man, are some of the most dangerous cities in the United States.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because what is it? I forget which. I think it's like, which shocked me. I think Greensboro now is like
Really?
1 in 19 says it's like 1 in every 19 people will be either be involved in a violent crime.
One-
or
Really?
No.
1 in 19. Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
wow.
one. Yeah, I think it's a violent crime and or a property crime.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 1 in 19 now.
Yeah, I didn't
Somewhere
know
last
that.
time I read it. Yeah.
I did not know.
It might
that.
be a year. I might be a year or two off, but the last time I read it, that's what I read, and that's Greensboro.
You know what I like to think, man? I always say, man, you grew up in a golden era.
Mhm.
You grew up in an era where it was like it was pride in being black. Right?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of pride in in our people, right?
Yeah.
Now that you that time and space is over with.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at today? You surprised by it? The
No.
lack of empathy, the lack of love for one another, the lack of sympathy, lack of understanding. Does any of that shocks you when you sit back and you looking at it from memory? Like, man, when in the 80s it was love, it was togetherness, right?
Right.
90s became a little shaky, right?
Right.
But it was still some there, right?
Right.
Brother, right?
Right.
And then 2000s came, 2010s came.
Mm-hmm.
Now we here. It's a different playing field.
We're so separated.
There's no love.
Yes. No.
I think what changed a lot of it, man, is information, right?
Mhm.
Information travels so fast now, man, in seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like all the, for example, like the police behavior,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Towards blacks. And, you're seeing a lot more of it now, but this has always been going on,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's just that now, information moves so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody is a reporter now. You
Yeah.
got a camera,
Yeah.
you got a phone,
Yeah.
boom, and I can send it, put it on the other side of the world in less than half a second, right?
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Again, like I stated earlier, I think just basically removing God from our lives has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I think basically following trends has a lot to do with
We
it.
talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Following trends. You know what I'm saying? And I think also as with the black community, I think basically we don't have as many entrepreneurs. Let me say like a serious entrepreneur, right? Because you can be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, and kind of have like a little side gig, make a couple of dollars, right? But when I say serious, I mean like that's your main source of income. Right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the way I grew up, bro, I saw, black thriving businesses. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I saw black people driving around in Cadillacs, buying new homes, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Opening restaurants, things of that nature. You really don't see that now.
But it was togetherness too at the
It
same
was
time.
togetherness, right? It was togetherness. You know what I mean? People talk about. To me, they're like, "Oh boy, you country." To me, country is a state of mind, right?
Yeah.
I think you're country when you have a lack of ambition, when you believe in going to work this 9 to 5 is the only income you need coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe when you don't read and learn, to me, you country.
That's a slave mentality.
That's
Your slave mentality.
Yeah,
So
slave
to me,
mentality.
you're country.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I call country.
We talk about it
See
all
what
the
I'm saying?
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a slave mentality.
Right, slave mentality.
I agree with
mentality.
that,
Yeah.
man. Hey, that was
Right.
powerful what you just said,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
That was very powerful, man. Very powerful what he just said.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is,
The
man.
way he defined country. Yeah. That was powerful.
Yeah. Because typically when people think country, you don't know nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, you choose not to know anything.
Yeah.
That's
Because the
choice.
information is out
The
there.
information is out there.
It's out
You know what
there.
I'm saying? If you lack ambition to get it, you know what I'm saying, receive it, then that's on you.
And it's funny you said that with like entrepreneurship. I remember I was watching a documentary about Durham,
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina. There's
Absolutely.
people that was thriving, man.
Absolutely.
In Durham, North Carolina,
Yeah.
they had it going on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the Black Wall Streets.
Wall Streets,
Yeah,
yeah.
like one of the
Durham,
Black
North
Wall Streets.
Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Guys driving Cadillacs, on store like supermarkets, pharmacies, banking, schools.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
How did we get so far away from all that, man? Like as a people, man. Like I mean, it boggles my mind sometimes.
Integration.
The worst thing ever happened. Huh?
And I'm not going to say it's the worst thing that
Hey,
ever happened.
hey, look here. Hey,
Say, speak your
hey,
mind.
hey, look here. Let me, the worst thing ever happened.
Integration most definitely did a disservice to some of the black communities.
Yeah.
right?
It did.
Because we became less dependent upon ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We became dependent upon other people. So I'm going to say that's part of the problem. as
Yeah,
well.
because Brother Malcolm X used to talk about that all the time.
It's the worst thing to me, and that's
He talked
that's
about it all the
not,
time.
and not to disrespect anybody. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you just said, we just took the light away from ourselves, right? We focus more on being received on the other side, as if the other side was more important than what we had going on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we need to turn back our heads towards ourselves and our people and focus on us and stop worrying about other people
Other
receiving
people.
us and accepting us.
Yeah.
You know, like I watch certain shows, man, like the Grammys. I see these people crying because the Grammys, they're black. Oh, I didn't get a Grammy.
Create your own.
I was not even that, but I'm saying, like, why does that mean so much to you,
Yeah.
right? Whereas if BET gave you an award, you don't even show up. You don't care, right? When BET was black owned, they used to give award. You never cared. Artists wouldn't even go there. They don't even go to. But because this is the Grammys, right? You want to be accepted so badly by the other side that you'll do anything, complain and you know what I'm saying, throw a tantrum. Why is we're not enough for one another? You know what I'm saying? Why we can't be enough for each other?
Wow.
That's a great point.
It's a very great point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very great point. And it's unfortunate.
It's sad.
It's very sad. It is.
Sad, man.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like why we not enough? And I always wonder, man, are we ever gonna get back to that point where we were so great? You know what I'm saying? Where we was great at one point.
Yeah.
You know, because I always tell my daughter, even my daughter, when I speak with my daughter, I always make her understand our history didn't start from slavery.
From the slave ships.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? That's not where we come from.
Right.
Yeah.
We weren't slaves. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. that's just a part of the history.
Exactly.
We're more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Much more.
Yeah.
Much
You know,
more.
and I just wonder maybe one day, man, we'll come together, man, and we'll put our heads together and we'll grow and blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pray that we'll get back to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, I remember years ago, I tried to get 3 brothers to go in with me to buy this property and
Yeah.
actually live in it, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, the property was like $400,000, right? I was like, well, neither of us can afford this by ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, but together,
Hey, that's a logical
That's
way.
a logical way.
I said we can do this, right?
Yeah.
I said we'll live in it for X amount of years, take the equity, chop it up. If we want to do it again, we'll do it again.
Keep doing it
Just
again.
doing it,
Yeah, keep doing it.
or whatever, right? You know how much that $400,000 house is worth now? $1.2 million.
So let me ask you a question. Did the brothers go in with you on it?
No,
Why not?
because they didn't see the vision. They didn't see what I saw.
And that's what hurt. And I believe that's was one of the things that hurt our people today, man. Not seeing the vision.
Brother, it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, brother.
Indians, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's too many brothers. I tell people, man, you got to know who you are. You got to know your position, right? Don't try to be something you're not. You're not a thinker, Jimmy. If you're not a thinker and you're around a thinker, that's the thinker, right?
Right.
If you don't know how to plan, if you're a thinker but you don't know how to put plays in motion,
Right.
but this man knows how to take your vision and put it in motion, let him do his part.
Yeah.
Everybody has a part, right? No one man is in line. You can't do
Yes.
everything yourself. That's impossible,
Right.
right? So you had a vision. They
Right.
couldn't see it.
They couldn't see it.
But if they know you,
Right.
like the people that know you a good dude, right? Right? You a thinker. You're smart. You're not you far from a dummy.
I appreciate that. Bro.
Far from a dummy, brother.
Appreciate that.
So you come up to me and say, Rob, man, let's go, baby. Let's go. There's nothing to think about, man. You got to know who you're around, right? But if I'm around a joker, that's all he care about is going to the club and blowing his money, and you can't talk to me about no business. That's not your lane.
You know that, Rod. You know what I tell you all the time. The wise man can play the part of a fool, but a fool can't play the part of a wise man.
But what's the other one? My favorite one, man. The other one you told me. It's either you think, what is it? It's either you think I'm a fool.
Yeah, at the end of it,
Yeah.
well, either you think I'm no. If you're not listening to me,
Yeah.
then obviously you must think I'm a fool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said at the end of
Yeah,
it. You know.
but there's another part to that too. That's the most important part. So when you're not listening, it's either you think I'm a fool playing a what?
No,
come on, man.
No. That's what I said. A wise man can play the part of a fool, but a fool can't play the part of a wise man. And you're not listening to me, so obviously you think I'm a fool.
Man, listen, man. This brother, man, he dropped this on my lap one day, man. I said, "Ooh, I'm about to run that right now." Yeah. I had to go. Man, listen. Every time me and my babe, I'm sorry. Every time me and my wife get into a little, man, I run that game right on her. I say, Kay, man, good looking, baby. I won.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Kay.
Yes, sir.
Because we touched bases on the music in the 80s, 70s, 90s, right?
Yeah.
So now let's fast forward
Okay.
in today's time.
Okay.
What do you think about the music today that these kids are listening to?
Man.
I call it mumble rap.
It is
Just
mumble
give me
rap.
your take on
It is mumble rap. You know, I'm gonna say this. All the these young MCs or young singers aren't bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say the majority of them are horrible, right? I'm gonna say 3/4 of them are trash to me.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And of course,
yes.
the younger generation is gonna say, "Oh, you're an old head. You don't know what you're talking about." You know what I'm saying? But I give props to like 1/4 of them. You know what I'm saying? The true lyricists, right? Because I like a nice beat. I like a dope beat, but I'm more into the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you actually teaching or telling a story within your message, or are you just doing some chants and
just rhyming,
just
rhyming,
just ridiculous, ridiculous stuff.
Yeah,
what I'm
just
saying?
rhyming,
It makes
yeah.
no sense, right?
Okay.
I get it. You play that stuff in the club, people dance to it. You know what I'm saying? You make your money. I get it, but I mean, to me, I think the lyrical content is missing in a lot of the music. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Got it.
And I know these kids probably go talk trash to me for that, but that's just how I feel.
Hey man, listen, you're entitled to your opinion, man, and you ain't saying nothing wrong, brother. I'm with you, man. I tell my daughter all the time, man. I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear none of that garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's garbage. She said, "What you mean, God?" I'm telling you, it's garbage.
Oh yeah.
There's no content. No, there's no content behind it. It's just
Yeah,
rhyming. You're just rhyming, and they talking about kill. Everything is murder.
Mhm.
I say, man, y'all got a murdering spirit. These kids, man, these rappers, They have a murdering
I'm on
spirit.
demon time.
Oh my Lord Jesus! And I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problem with none of these young boys, man, because they on demon time. I'm on God time.
That's all right.
Yeah?
That's stuff.
I'm trying to elevate. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be old. I'm trying to enjoy my grandkids, man.
Yeah.
I have a vision of me sitting on my rocking chair, man. I'm rocking, man. I got a nice cigar in my hand, and I got a couple, you know what, right? You know what we be sipping on sometimes.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm watching my babies, man. Just running around playing, man.
That's all right.
Papa, yes, baby, go ahead, do your thing. You can't do no wrong, baby. Yeah, that's my vision. I'm not on demon time. I'm on God time, man. I just want to enjoy this life here. Create something that I can pass on. That's what it's about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? A legacy.
Right. I agree.
Because everything you're building is not for you.
I
Of
agree.
course, you're going to enjoy it, right? You want to
I
enjoy it.
agree.
But you eventually, you're going to pass it on to the next. And they're supposed to make it better. Keep
Yeah.
building on it.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. It's funny you say that, man. I was talking to a relative the other day, and they told me they spending all their money. They ain't leaving nothing. I got another partner who says that, right?
Mm.
And pretty much when they say that, I don't even have a response. I
Well,
typically don't say anything.
There's nothing you
back.
can say.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate because I think that we should, like you said, leave a legacy for our children.
We
You know
have
what
to.
I mean?
We have to.
They didn't ask to come here.
No.
Right?
I agree.
And,
They didn't ask to come here.
and a lot of these fools, the idea is if I had to endure all this struggle, I had to go through all this pain, you should too. But as we come to know, just because a man has a child doesn't mean he's a father. As a father, my job is to say all the things that I've endured, that I've gone through. It's my job to keep you from having to go through all that, because I'm gonna put you in a better position than I was.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And then you're gonna put your kids in a better position than I put you, and it's gonna keep building and going.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
It ain't about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the flashiness, the jewelry and the cars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's about family, passing on something to your kids. You know what I'm saying? A value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Value.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we talk about it all the time, man. But once again, man, we done give y'all some great game, man. We had Kay here, man. Kay is a very special individual. As you can tell, he's very intelligent, man. You know what I'm saying? He's modest. Don't let him fool you. He got a lot of game. You see him in the street, man, you want to learn something, talk to the brother. Cool brother, loving brother. You know what I'm saying? And what we were trying to do here is to hopefully open you guys' eyes to have different point of views, man. You know what I'm saying? This was a very important point of view for you guys to understand that, you know, you can always change no matter what part of the game that you're in right now, whether you're in the streets, whether you're struggling. Like Kay said, I was doing this, I was doing that, but I knew I wanted something better. I prayed. I stayed in prayer, and eventually he evolved, and he's a great man, in my opinion. I love the brother, you know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, brother. I appreciate it. I love you too, man.
And I already
Love
know,
too,
brother. You know how we get down.
Yeah,
You
no
know what I'm
doubt.
saying? And like Al, me and Al always say, man, we ask y'all for a couple things, but nothing major, no money. We're not asking you for money. We're asking you to like, comment, subscribe, and what else, Al?
And hit the like button. You see this finger? You take this finger and hit the like button. It costs you
It's easy,
nothing.
man. It's easy.
Yeah,
It's easy.
it's free.
It costs you nothing.
It's free. And-
Just hit the like button.
And a lot of you
Please.
jokers out there got relatives too. They love watching podcasts, man.
Right.
Tell them, man, hey, come check out these brothers, man. They are literally changing tomorrow today.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're doing it with love and grace. So we love y'all, man. Y'all out there, man. Keep your heads up. We're going to continue to build. All right? Peace.
Peace.
You cannot take my mind. You cannot take my heart. You cannot take my soul. You cannot take my goals. You cannot stop my time. You cannot stop my grind. What's mine will always be mine. I was born to be a fighter, left alone in the fire. Had no one to come and save me. Had to learn I have to save me. Mama always told me.